Hi there, day campers. Today we're going to do an experiment with salt dough. So first things first, I need you to make sure you have adult permission to do this part, and you're also going to need adult help. So make sure that you have those two things before we get started, okay? I'll give you a minute, pause the video if you need to, go get permission and help, and then come back when you're ready, okay? I'll give you a second. All right, do we have permission? Do we have adult helper? Awesome, good deal. Okay, so next I need you to get some ingredients, okay? I need you to make sure you have flour, salt, water, and a little bit of vegetable oil, okay? Next, you're going to need 3 different measuring utensils. I need a cup measuring utensil, a 3/4 cup measuring utensil, and a tablespoon measuring utensil, all right? So, once you have all of that, obviously you're gonna need a bowl. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 cups of flour to our bowl, okay? Get my measuring spoon here. So here's 1 cup, perfect, 2 cups. And actually, real quick, before we go any further, your adult helper, let's go ahead and turn our ovens on at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That way that can preheat while we finish this up, okay? So go do that real quick. We'll come back to this, all right? So we did our 2 cups of flour, right? 2 cups of flour. Next, we are doing a cup of salt. I already had it pre-measured here. So 2 cups of flour, cup of salt. Good deal. Next, you're taking 3/4 of a cup of water. Pour it right in. And then you're going to take a tablespoon of vegetable oil. Put it right in. Okay, good deal. So, before we get to mixing, I want to point something out. When you had the flour and the salt in there, you could definitely tell them apart, right? Like you could tell what was flour, you could tell what was salt, right? Once we add the water and the vegetable oil, this whole mixture is going to go through what we call a physical change. So you might have learned about chemical changes in school, where a chemical change is where an ingredient or a property of something is actually changed. And that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is a physical change. The water and the vegetable oil mix in with the flour and the salt to create a physical change where you can't tell what's flour, what's salt, what's water, and what's oil, because it just all mixes together, right? Like it'd be really hard to separate all these. So all of this has gone through a physical change to where we can't reverse it back, right? So go ahead and mix that up. I'd start with a spoon. I'm just using a little flat spatula here. I would mix that up first with the spoon, as much as you can with the spoon. But I know all of y'all are just waiting, just itching, right? Once it gets to a point where you can't really mix it with the spoon as much, right? It's just getting a little bit difficult for that spoon to go through. I want you to go ahead and take what's on your little spatula off and then just get in there with your hands, all right? So we're just gonna get in here with our hands, mix up this dough, all right? And it should come together pretty easily. If you feel like it's a little sticky, go ahead and add a little bit more flour. Mine feels a little sticky, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more flour. If yours feels like it's not sticking together, go ahead and add a little bit more water. That'll help, you know, probably a little bit too much flour in there, so go ahead and add a little bit of water if it's not sticking together very well. If it's too sticky, add a little bit of flour. That's what I did to mine, and now it looks like it's the perfect consistency, right? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a cutting board or a plate, whatever's easiest for you to use. Set aside your bowl and your spatula. We're back. I have my Weebelow 1 helper here, and we're going to start working with the salt dough to make fossil casts and dinosaur bones. So what I want you to do first is take a small bit of salt dough. Take a little bit of salt dough. Take a little bit of salt dough. and we're going to roll it into like a flat disc, okay? And then if we need to, just put it on your little cutting board area and press down to flatten it out. Oh, that starts my hand. Good. Very good. And then where you take, if you have little dinosaurs at home, you can use little dinosaurs at home. Do you want to do Stegosaurus feet or T-Rex feet?
I think Stegosaurus would be easier.
Alrighty, sure. So then we're going to make sure you have the bottom of your little figure and just push it down into the salt dough and then gently pull up. That way you don't mess up the impression. You can do like two, like if you want to use this bigger one, you can do his front feet on top and then his back feet on the bottom. Like do his top feet first and then pull up and then set his back feet right here. There you go. And then push. Very good. And pull up gently. Awesome. Great job. There we go. So we got, once you're done setting your little prints in there, just set it aside so that you can keep your work area clean. Now I have some that are already done over here. These have already been baked and are done. I have little dinosaur eggs. We did a dinosaur rib cage, so I'm gonna show you how to do that one next, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a small piece of dough, roll it, and then we're going to roll it flat like a little worm, right? So I need you to make 4 of those, all right? So make 4 of those long little worms. Perfect, just like that.
So make 4?
Yes, 4 of them.
With this?
Yep. Yeah. Or, well, take a little piece off that so that way you can make little thin ones. Yeah, like take a...
I think this is a little too small.
Probably. I would say like maybe like this big. Probably be good. Yeah. Mine's probably a little too much. So we're making 4. I'm on 3 now. 3. Damon is working on 2. Very good. All right. And then...
Does this look good?
Yeah, it looks great. So then for this one, what you're going to do is see if your adult helper can get a piece of aluminum foil and roll it up to just kind of look like this, okay? Because this is what you're going to do. You're going to lay your little thin pieces, lay 3 of them across your foil, just like that. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to lay your 4th one across the top of them and just kind of push it a little flat in there, just like that. See? All right, I'm going to take mine off. That way we can do the second one. All right, so you go ahead and do yours now. And then when you bake it like that on the foil, it looks like this. A little rib cage. Super neat, huh? So while he's doing that, I'm going to show y'all how to do the eggs. So for the eggs, take a good sized little piece, right? And then you're going to roll it into a circle. And then once you have a circle, what you're going to do is kind of make a point here at the top. So that way you can kind of make it look like an egg, right? Because eggs aren't perfectly circular. Some of them are, but for the most part, they're not. Great job. So here we have Damon's skeleton right here. Perfect. We're going to bake that just like that. And then do you want to make some eggs?
Sure.
They just look like this. So these are my eggs that are done. These are the baked ones. These have already been in the oven. See that? Perfect.
So like, make them into a...
Yeah, so make a circle. Or a
sphere.
A sphere. Very good. So we're going to make a sphere. Just like that.
Like this?
Yes. And then I just kind of pulled up a little bit on the top just to make it kind of pointy. Kind of like the way a chicken egg looks, you know?
Like this?
Yeah. There we go. Now we have an egg. Perfect. So when you're done making whatever fossils you want, whatever fossil cast, if you want to make a bigger bone, you can make it look kind of like a log, like this, and then just flatten it a little bit in the middle, and then you can make the sides come out a little to make it look more like a dinosaur bone, right?
Hey Mom,
You got, yes,
I have a question.
when you got a bone, just look at it, right?
What
What's
do
your
we do
question?
with them after they're baked?
When you're all done making your fossils, what I want you to do is have your adult helper put them on a baking sheet. They could put a piece of wax paper or a piece of foil on the bottom if they'd like, and then bake your fossils for 3 hours at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember we turned it on? So bake them for 3 hours. When they're done, let them completely cool. Let them dry for a full day, because if you don't let them dry and then you go put them outside and the ground is a little bit wet, your salt dough is going to get soft again, and then your imprints aren't going to stay there anymore. Okay, and we don't want that to happen. So just there you go. There's one last look at the finished ones. There we go. So we hope you had fun, and we hope you have fun doing your fossil digs, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.